Alright, so I'm going to do my best to keep this as short as possible, but also still very informative because there is a lot to learning how to fly these, of course. But I'm pretty much going to show you what you need to do to be able to get up in the air and flying. I kept ear goggles in the box. I'm going to start with those though, just so you know how to set them up. Again, I kept yours in the boxes. I didn't take yours apart because there's no reason to take them out of the box. But here, I'm going to take off these antennas real quick here. So pretty much when you open your goggle box, you're going to have your set of goggles, which are these, and you're going to have your goggle battery box here. So these take 18650s, like I mentioned to you. You can buy them, they're the same as vapes. So you just do 18650s right there. Boom. And you are able to, I don't know if you can on these ones. No, not on these ones. So you're going to need to get a charger for this, a barrel plug charger for this. Well, you're going to need a charger to charge your batteries too, but you need 18650 batteries to use these. Has a little light indicator button you can push here to see how much battery you have. And then your module as well. It's going to look like this. That's also in the box still. I didn't open yours. This one's mine, but you get the same one. Right here in the goggles, there's just a line of pins. You have all those pins there, so you just line it up. It's really not that bad. It seems kind of a pain, but it's really not. It goes in pretty easily. And you just push in. You're good to go. Make sure you always have antennas on your module, because if you don't have antennas on your module and you power it up, it can damage it. So make sure you always have antennas. Your antennas also are still in packaging. I didn't open those. You have 2 of them, both of which will go on your goggles for you there. So I got those on, and then your goggle battery will strap in. There's a little connector here, pretty simple. Slide it in, you're good to go, and this barrel connector goes right to here. Boom. Plugs it in, display comes up, you can see on your module what you're on. So your drone, oh, mine's about to die on my goggle battery, that's why it's beeping. If it ever does that, your goggle batteries are beeping, or dying. Right here, it's really simple. You just go up, left, right, down, and it'll have a display inside the goggles of what you're seeing. Your drone is set up on R1, which is race band 1. So when you plug this in, put on your antennas and plug in your goggles, you're going to change this to where you get to R1, and that's where you'll be at. That'll be your goggles again. Those are all just chilling in the box, brand new. No need to open those because you got the same ones I do. So now we move on to the drone. So this is what's considered ready to fly. Pretty much all you have to do is just know how to work it, plug a battery in, and fly. So a couple things that are really important is the direction of your propellers. So this drone is what's known as reverse props. So props are considered out. Basically, the easiest way for me to remember what direction the propellers go is going to be right here and right here. They're facing in towards the middle of the drone, not out on the inner parts of the propeller. They're slanted downward and in, and it'd be the same for the back. They're slanted downward and in. Because if you have this prop on this side, it'd be slanted and out, away from the drone, which is not what you want. So you want them both slanted in towards the drone. Again, you could take a look at that. You're going to need to order propellers too. Those are cheap. They're like $3 a set. I threw a set on here for you guys, so you can use these. But they do get beat up pretty quickly. I go through a ton of propellers, very, very often. Tons and tons of propellers. Okay, so here's your camera on the drone. That's what you'll look through. It does just take a 2mm hex. You can tighten and loosen it and adjust the tilt or angle of the camera. I put you at an angle that I think is going to be a good area to be to where you're not going too fast, but also good to learn to where you're not just like hovering around. It's pretty much matching the mount here, which is where you can attach a GoPro mount. What I would suggest is getting a 3D print made, which I can also probably get done for you if you want to mount GoPro. You can still put a GoPro here. You would just run one of these battery straps around these 2 posts here and then around the GoPro itself. But I personally like getting 3D printed mounts so that they are actually more secure and it covers the entire GoPro itself. but it does come with that. If you want to throw a GoPro on there for now, you can. It's a little cap for your camera, so I'm just going to put that back on. Yeah, but everything's all tightened, hardware, everything's all good to go. Like I said, it's a bind and fly version. Or not even bind and fly, it's ready to fly. I already bound it for you, so you guys are good. So I'm going to show you how it should sound when you plug it in. You take your LiPo. This is one of mine. Yours are also still brand new in the box. I guess I can take one of yours out for this part. These aren't going to come fully charged. They're going to come in storage. So again, you're going to need a charger to charge these. The thing with batteries is you don't want to fly them until they're just dead. There's certain voltage that you want to land at with your drone. So what you have is a 4-cell battery. Each cell charges to 4.2 volts. So basically it's at 16.8 volts when it's fully charged. You typically want to land the drone when it's about at 3.6 per cell, which would be what, 6, 12, 13, 14, 14.4, 14.5. So it'll let you fly until it hits like 10 volts, 9 volts, and the drone's just going to fall out of the air. So pretty much when you're flying these batteries that you guys bought, you're going to want to fly it down to about 14.4 volts, then come in and land it. That's like the lowest. I wouldn't go much lower than that personally. So again, 14.4, trying to implant that. Also, I think I told you, but the motors I sent you were higher kV, which is basically more power, which would match these batteries very well. The motors that you bought are the 1800 kV. I recommended the 2450. You bought the 1800s, which are technically made for 5 and 6 cell battery. They're lower kV, so they can handle higher voltage. In return, give you longer flight times. But you have 4 cell, which it will still fly. You can still fly it, but the thing is, you're probably only going to do about 40-50 miles an hour with this on here. I would recommend learning with this still because it's still pretty quick. Once you get comfortable with it, then go up to 5-cell batteries. Again, these are 4-cell. You bump up to 5-cell. And if you really want to go up to 6-cell, but that's also going to be more harsh on your electronics, which means you may have to replace things from time to time. It happens, so especially from crashing it. Yeah, your battery straps here. You have 2 battery straps on top. I will show you how I personally would hook this up. So you can, go off of that, but I'm going to run the battery flat with the LiPo and leads off the battery and leading out towards the front. And then I'm going to take the actual plug from the drone itself, because you don't want to run along the side here because the propeller could hit it. So you want to run it right along the back. What I like to do is just tuck it right underneath here, underneath the battery strap. Tighten it down right there. So that's the proper tones. It goes doo-doo-doo, and then chills for a second, and then 2 more beeps. That means everything is working. So it is ready to go here. This is plugged in. It's ready to fly, as long as I just had goggles on and had the controller out. So that's it. I mean, it's pretty simple. Just put it on, battery straps. Make sure you tuck this. Like I said, if this is out to the side, that propeller hits it. That's not good. That hits your main power lead right there. So that could definitely cause a fire, depending on what it touches. Yes, drones do catch fire sometimes. Yeah, I'm gonna plug this. Mess. I got so much stuff everywhere. Alright, so we got that situated. So now I'm gonna bust out your controller, show you how to use your controller, and then you'll be all set, man. Now there's gonna be a hold on, let's see here. There we go. Alright, so your controller, I'm just pulling out of its case here. Cool. It looks like your controller came with a charger, which is awesome. You also have an extra battery. So here's your controller, and you got the one with the upgraded sticks on it. These are really nice. They feel so good. And these stick ends are nice, especially if you thumb, which I do. Some people pinch, but I thumb. And these stick ends definitely feel way better if you do thumb. Even if you pinch though too. I feel like you have more to grab. So power button's right here, dead center. You're gonna hold that on, and it's gonna do 4 little boxes. When it lights up the screen, you can let go. It's gonna say OpenTX. That's the firmware basically. It always says, oh, throttle warning, because our throttle's all the way up. It doesn't matter though, fail-safe warning. All you have to do is just hit a button. Doesn't matter what button you push. So a couple things, what I would recommend, never touch these 4, no need to. That's adjusting your trim. You don't need to ever adjust your trim, ever. That's just gonna make the drone not fly correctly. So these 4, no need to touch, ever. 1, 2, 3, 4, wouldn't touch them. You have all these switches up here. You're only gonna be using the 2 top ones, this one and this one. And I'll show you what those are used for here in just a minute. The radio, I would recommend if you want to learn about how to use the radio and like build your own models and whatnot in here. I would definitely recommend just watching a tutorial because it can be difficult. So yours is set to Bando. That's the name of the frame. It's a Bandolero. So I just put it as Bando because it matches the name of the frame. This is going to be your throttle up. This is yaw, which basically makes the quad spin left or right on a flat plane. And then this is your roll to make it lean left and right. And then this is your pitch to make it lean forward or lean back. Now do note, drones don't auto level themselves. These fly on acro. So basically if you're flying and you roll the drone over halfway and let go of that, it's going to stay upside down. If you throttle it, it's going to then start coming down as fast as possible. So it's on an acro basis, so you need to make sure you fully flatten out the drone best you can. What I would recommend you do is fly it without the goggles at first. Try and get the feel for it. Be very easy. It's going to be fast. Be very, very easy. Again, I'm kind of happy that you have slower motors with lower cell battery because if you bought the motors that I suggested, I mean, you bought the same brand, just a different size. If you bought those, it would do 110, 115 miles an hour, which is really fast, obviously. So it's probably best worn on this. But here, I shouldn't have unplugged this. I'm going to throw this battery back in here real quick just to show you how this drone works and how you set it all up. So again, you know how to do the goggles. That's easy. Just open up the package, put your module in, make sure you grab some batteries, 18650s, so you can power your goggles. Make sure you, again, you're going to have to buy a charger. Again, I'm happy to send you a list of some stuff you need to purchase still. That totally crossed my mind because I just listed off what I would need to build for you, but I forgot about all the little extras. But again, I'm got it tucked in here. Wires are not, I like to do a prop check, make sure they're not touching or even close. You don't want them too close. I'm going to go ahead and plug this in. I suggest never, I'm leading by a bad example here, I suggest never arming, which means making the motor spin with propellers on when you're inside. It's best not to, for sure. There's a hole up there in the roof. If you can see that, that's from a drone freaking out. Yours isn't going to freak out or anything, but I am going to go ahead and put my hand above it just to make 100% certain that everything's working good. So we are good. All right, perfect. So pretty simple. It's plugged in. Controller's on. There's these 4 little bars right here. If you have those bars, that means you are connected to the drone. Okay, so we are indeed connected to the drone because of those 4 bars. How this works, you always have to have your throttle at the bottom for it to spin the motors. Okay, if your throttle's here and you try to arm it, it's not going to work. If you're anywhere, it has to be at the very bottom every time to arm your craft. All right, so this left switch right here, so on this side, because if you're holding it, it's going to be comfortable. It's right there by your pointer finger. You just hit that switch. Bink. That's gonna. It's just a 2-position switch. 1 to 2. There. It's armed. Motors are spinning. Same thing to turn it off. So on. Motors are spinning. Off. Motors are off. If you crash, you're flying. Boom. You hit something. You crash. Flip it off. Always try and flip it off. That way it doesn't mess anything up worse than it may already have. Pretty much from there though, when you are armed, that's considered armed when the motors are spinning, all you have to do then is just throttle, and the aircraft will fly. Again, you don't need to go crazy on throttle because it is a very quick craft. It's not like a DJI or anything that's much slower, more cinematic version. These are much faster aircraft. So again, One more time, arm it, you are good to fly, ready to go. Position, you have your throttle go up, and your steering, of course, with it. So now there's one other switch that I want to show you. You may not use it all the time, you may, but it's I mean, it's up to you on if you want to learn to use it. It's called turtle mode. Basically what that means is if your drone lands upside down, it's a way that you can flip it over still. So basically what you would do to enter turtle mode, is this switch on the right. So your left one turns on the motors, right? I'm not going to hit that because it's upside down. But the right one, we hit that. This is a spring-loaded one, so it means when you push it, it's going to push itself right back, opposed to this one stays. So you hold this here, and then you push this. See, obviously the motors aren't spinning, but it's now what's called turtle mode. You can let go of this right switch. You just make sure you hold it while you push this one. Now all you need to do is push this right stick, either left, right, forward, backward, whatever you want, and the drone will flip itself over. It'll basically put the motors in reverse. I'm not going to do it again because I am inside. I also don't want to bang up. Turtle mode is not something that's pretty because it's throwing your drone around. So yours is brand new. I don't want to mess it up. So again, pretty simple to use that. All you have to do is hold this switch. Again, it's spring loaded so it doesn't stay. So just pull the switch. You hit this switch. Once you hit this switch, you can release the one on the right. And all you do is bang this stick around right, left, forward, back till you flip the drone. You can get the feel of it. That way if you do crash like 100, 200 feet away, yeah, just flip it over and then fly it back for yourself. Okay, so I'm going to turn that off. So yeah, I mean that's it, man. There's a lot to this hobby. There really is. I know you're going to have a lot of questions as time go on. But all you have to do is turn on your controller by holding the power button. Plug in your battery, make sure your propellers aren't hitting that battery lead. Hit this, make sure throttle's at 0, hit your switch, spin the motors, and you go for it. You fly it. That's it. So if you have any questions, I know you're going to have some, for sure. It's going to happen. It's very common. Please don't hesitate to ask. Always happy to help you out and help someone get into the hobby and also do it the right way. It's better to learn that way. But anyways, yeah, let me know if you have any questions, and happy to help you out. Hope you guys enjoy it. This thing's awesome. Honestly, it's a tank. I build race quads myself, so like I don't really build freestyle drones, which you would consider this freestyle. But basically, these handle way more of impacts, way more. Like you'll be able to beat this thing up. I wanted to also run you by all the extra stuff you have. Good ideas to buy as extras. Just putting your battery back in the packaging here. There we go. Your battery. Right. So here's your goggles. Again, still in package. I didn't need to open those. They're going to come in a little travel case. They'll come with your goggle battery and the goggles. Like I've said, you need 18650 batteries for those. And a charger to be able to charge that goggle battery. Here's the two antennas I was telling you about. These are the ones that are going to go right on your goggles. Both these on your goggles. Very simple. They just push right into that module that I was showing you earlier how to put in. This is just a bag of some extra, or a little box of some extra wires and stickers and stuff. Flight 1, revolt. This is the brains of the whole entire drone. It's called the flight controller. So you have one extra of those. That's going to be right here, dead centered. The top board of the two boards there. It's the flight controller. And then you have the ESC, which is the electronic speed controller. That's the other board right underneath it. So you got a spare one of each one of those. The old box from the one that's already on the drone is in here, just because it comes with some extra cables and connectors and stuff. So make sure to leave that with you. Same thing with your camera. Your camera's already in the drone, but I am going to leave the box with you just because it does come with some extra wires and a little remote to control the camera if you want to. You don't need to, you'll be fine. What else do we have here? This battery right here, your GNB, that is an extra controller battery for your remote control. So you already have one in there, but this one is a bigger, better one, so it'll last a little longer. Welcome to throw it in there if you'd like. Otherwise, you can just save it for now until the other one becomes a problem if it does. Here's your amplifier. This is your module. This is what attaches to your goggles that I was showing you earlier. So right here, this red piece, they look the same. See? Pink, that's your goggle or module, your goggle module. So that'll be in there. This is what will attach to your goggles. Reminder, always make sure you have these antennas on your goggle module before you power your goggles. Every time. And then, let's see, what else do you have here? Oh, and then all your batteries are going to be in there. You got all your batteries. But yeah, and then your controller came in a little carrying case, so that'll come too. Again, that comes with the charger and everything in it for you. That's always convenient, makes it easy when you go around. Cool, so I think that's everything, yeah. So again, you got your goggle module there, throwing your goggles, extra stuff for your cameras, extra battery for your controller. You got an extra electronic speed controller for the stack, electronic flight controller there, and your two antennas. You'll need to open those up and put on your goggles. Other than that, I mean, we're good. Everything's good to go. She flies great. Taught you to arm it. So let me know if you have questions, dude. But yeah, have fun with it. Pretty good, and it's going to be tried and true to you. The worst thing that I could see happening is maybe hitting a motor and having to replace, a motor. But other than that, that's really not that bad. But yeah, I mean, this thing's going to be awesome. It's a tank. It looks really good. I'm excited for you guys to try it out and fly it. Also, one last thing, actually, now that I remember, this antenna right here, this comes off right here. It just screws off. That's your video transmitter antenna. You need an extra antenna. This one, I thought I had a spare, but I don't. I guess I'm running low on antennas. You need to have an antenna on here to fly this, no matter what. If you don't have an antenna on there and you power up the drone, there is good odds that you will fry your video transmitter, which basically means you get no more video. You know what, I might have one in my old patches up here, maybe. I don't think I do. I'm checking. And if I do, you can have it. But I don't have spares. I've been killing antennas like crazy lately. Oh, okay, I do have one, but it's a cheapy one. I'm going to put it on there just because I don't want you guys flying it without one. But I would suggest replacing this one with a better one. You just bought two, which are both going to go on your goggles. What I'd recommend, I can send you again a list of some other things to buy. Stubby antenna would be great for this, but yeah, so I'll just throw this one on there again. I know it's not the prettiest one, I'm sorry. But yeah, you guys will just need to pick up one more and you'll be good there. But all is good. Like I said, if you have any questions, ask. This build came out extremely clean, and I think it performs great. I already got it tuned, so it's not going to like fly bad or anything. It flies very, very smooth. You're actually flying the same product that company I fly for, so that's awesome. But yeah, I mean that's pretty much sums it up. Again, if you have any questions, just holler, man. You guys have fun shredding the sky. It's fun stuff, dude.